Day 262, football season's upon us. It's already kind of started, but it's late August, and every time football season rolls around, I like to watch football movies. I've already quoted some football movies throughout the 200 and some days of doing these videos, but the one I watched yesterday to kind of prepare for football season, I love motivational football movies, but the one I watched yesterday is Friday Night Lights. Not one of the most common ones. There's some others that I find even more motivation in, but I'm going to talk about a quote from that movie on day 262. So Friday Night Lights, if you've never seen it, high school football in Texas is a huge thing, and kind of like this nostalgic movie where a lot of the kids' fathers had won the state championship at this specific school, and there was a lot of controversy and drama and things that were leading to this team called Permian to be underdogs. And these kids kind of, again, living in other people's shadows, their dads and other people from the town, and had a lot of pressure to win. And they have a big loss, a couple big losses throughout the year, and they also lose their best player. And finally, they go on a run, and they make it to the state championship against a much bigger and stronger and better team. And the coach, going into the state championship, at halftime, they're losing in the state championship game, and the coach walks in and kind of gives this halftime speech that I think we can glean a lot of goodness from. So this is what the coach says. He says, "Being perfect is not about the scoreboard out there. It's not about winning. It's about you and your relationship with yourself, your family, and your friends. Being perfect is about being able to look your friends in the eye and know that you didn't let them down because you told them the truth. And that truth is that you did everything that you could. There wasn't one more thing that you could have done. Can you live in that moment as best as you can with clear eyes and love in your heart, with joy in your heart? If you can do that, gentlemen, you're perfect." And they actually go on to lose the game by less than a touchdown. They lose the game on the 1 yard line. They have the ball. They make this great comeback in the second half, and they get the ball back. They have a chance to go down and score to win the game, and they dive towards the goal line on the final play of the game and come up about a yard short. So in a weird way, I kind of find this movie fascinating because it's based on a true story, and it's just not a happy ending like most sports movies or just movies in general are. And the scene kind of ends of a lot of these players. I think only one went on to play Division I football. None of them, I don't think, made it to the NFL. But they were just kind of these hometown heroes that then go on to live normal lives. And it's like this nostalgic scene at the end where it's kind of like a passing of the guard, where like these high school kids all go their separate ways. And they were really influential in the town, but now they realize it's time to pass it on to the next generation. So anyways, very motivational movie, and it has kind of a different ending than most movies, with this kind of nostalgic and sad ending. But again, so this speech that I just read, I thought that was really an interesting take, a really good motivational halftime speech. The coach wasn't yelling or throwing tables, but he was talking about looking your friends in the eye. And to be perfect to him is just knowing that you have done everything you can. Like, you looked your friends in the eye and you told them the truth, and that truth is that there wasn't one more thing you could have done. Like, loving one another is giving everything you can for them, for this moment, not backing down. Like, that message right there is more than a football speech. There's a lot of truth in life about that kind of message, where like the scoreboard or the result, that's not really a measure of perfection, because like the world will define perfect as whatever that outcome ends up being. But God would define goodness as like walking in truth and walking in love and just giving everything that He placed in front of you without holding back, just giving everything you have. In John chapter 13, verses 33 through 35, Jesus talks about this. It says, "My children, I will be with you only a little longer. You will look for me, and just as I told the Jews, I will tell you now, where I am going, you cannot come. A new command I give you, love one another. As I have loved you, so you must love one another. By this, everyone will know that you are my disciples, if you love one another." So right there, it's like perfection's not anything else, but perfection is in love. Like when you can look at your family or your friends, or if you're an athlete, your teammates, and just know that you are giving everything you can to them in this life. You're laying it on the line. Like, that is love. And oftentimes we allow laziness or comfort or all these other factors pull us away, distraction, our phones, etc. We allow these things to pull us away from truly giving everything that we can to those we love. And if you have something like this foothold in your life that's holding you back from actually giving everything you can and actually loving, I would just encourage you to address that right now, so you don't allow years and years to go by with just allowing these footholds to fester. Attack them. Look them straight in the eye and say, you're not going to control me anymore. Whatever that foothold is, laziness, distraction, comfort, get those things out of the way, move them out of the way so you can actually live your life giving everything you have. That's really what love's about. Because when your heart is full of this kind of true love, like, it's not troubled by these possible outcomes. If things are going to go right or if things are going to go wrong, if you're truly just loving and giving everything you have, like, that in and of itself is bigger than the outcome. And I think that's really the point of this Friday Night Lights football movie, is like, they lost the state championship by 1 yard, but they had this joy and this gratitude because they knew that they gave truly everything that they had. There was not one more thing they could have given. And there's a lesson in that. I think that's why Jesus, he ties love and trust and these concepts, he ties them together. Like, love and trust, like, these things require sacrifice. These things require discipline. Like, specifically talking about love, it requires you giving all of yourself. And when you have given your all truly, and there's not that, as it says in Friday Night Lights, there's not one more thing you could have done, like, that's when I strive to, like, live that kind of life so we can stand before God one day with just this clear eyes, this joy in our heart, and just a peace in our soul. So lastly here, just like, don't chase the scoreboard, aka outcomes. Outcomes are God's gonna take care of the outcome. Whatever the outcome ends up being in our life. We just have to control the inputs by just choosing love. Like, don't obsess over the final result. Whether it's like you're working out and you have a final goal, just truly enjoy the process of the journey. It's about who you become through doing the work more than the result of the work itself. It's the same as the video I had on that topic a month or so ago. I just strive to live a way where when people look at my life and the legacy that hopefully I pass down to my children and their kids, it's like, I just want someone to see someone that's sacrificed, someone that's fought hard and loved well, and just took care of all the inputs in the life in my life. But even though I've taken care of the inputs and been disciplined, I still absolutely trust God with the outcome and the result. That's the message today. Clear eyes, full hearts, love one another. Day 262.